All right, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how to write the electron configuration for different elements. So right here was the one from video 4. The most important part for this next video is to remember your S, your P, your Ds, and your Fs. What I should have done before I started this video was go ahead and recolor these, but I'm just going to take a minute and do that. You don't have to. I just feel as I'm teaching that might make it a little bit easier. And my coloring looks like my 4-year-old's coloring, I know, but hey, it works. Once you learn how to read the periodic table, kind of like a map actually, you'll be able to write your electron configurations. It's going to take a little trust that what you're doing makes sense, because we are talking about electrons that you can't even see, and I'm about to throw a bunch of numbers and letters and you're going to be like, what? But just trust me. Just trust me. The most important thing here is going to be our energy levels and our SPDF blocks. So when you're writing the electron configuration, what it looks like is you have a big number. So for hydrogen, it would be number 1 because it's an energy level 1. It's in the orange, which is my S block, and it has 1 electron. Now, how I know it has 1 electron is because it's a pattern that we're going to build here. So you can kind of trust me with that. But it's also just the first block in that row. Well, this one still is orange. It's still in row 1. It's still S block, but we're 1 more block over. So this little number on top that really means electrons, we're going to increase it by 1. Now, when we get here, we're no longer in energy level 1, we're in energy level 2. So we're going to put a big 2. We are still in S block, but because we're starting a new block, we're going to restart that number at the top, and it's going to have the number 1. And if you remember, everything in 1A had 1 valence electron. That's what we're kind of seeing here. Now 2, this one would be a 2, still in the S block, but now I'm 1 more over, so it's going to be a 2, which is going to line up to our 2A, because everything in 2A has 2 valence. Helium is an exception to this, so just kind of go with the flow right now. Now, this is like a great divide. It's a river. We have to jump over the river to get to our P block, or the green one. But we are still in row 2. It's now P block. But because we're starting a new block, we're going to start over, and it's the number 1. Now, this is really 3A. So 3A should have 3 valence electrons. It does. In energy level 2, it has 1 electron here, 1 electron here, and 1 here. That adds up to 3. Okay, don't worry about that too much. It'll come with practice. This one is still 2P2. This one will be 2P3, and so forth, right? So we're just kind of increasing that one as we go through. Now, what I'm doing is I'm giving you the basis to how you're going to write electron configuration. We're still in the learning phase. We're not quite writing it yet. Here, we get to 3S1, and then this goes to 3S2. We have to jump that great divide, that beautiful river, and go 3P, but because we're here, we need to start over, so forth, all the way over. Again, it's just a pattern you should be seeing right now. We're not going to quite understand what's going on just yet. Now we jump to 4. So 4S1, 4S2. Now this is where you have to be very careful, because the D block right here, they're like the sophomores that actually play on varsity level. So they're not technically a senior. They're not technically energy level 4. They're usually sophomores or juniors. But they are playing at that varsity level. So they're really 1 energy level or 1 grade behind everybody else. And it's the D block this time, and we restart over at 1. So every time you hit a new color, you restart the little number at 1, and you write the appropriate letter. The energy level is the big number in front for everything except for your D block. Your D block is always 1 number behind. And then you continue this over. I'm going to take the time and I'm going to write it all just because it's a video, so I only have to do it once. Okay, now once we hit here, we go back to the normal, so it's 4P, we go back to 1. Okay, and then over here would be 5S1, 5s2, 4d1, so remember it goes back 1, all the way over to 4d10, see I got a little lazy there, then back up to 5p1, 5p2, 5p3, etc. to 5p6. Now, we're not going to go any further than this because the F block gets super confusing and the F block really belongs in here and it's just crazy. Okay, there's also a lot of exceptions that you don't have to know. This is the basis of what you need to know. From this, if I said, what is the element that ends in the electron configuration 2p6? You should be able to come here and go, hey, this element is the one that ends in 2p6. Well, right here it doesn't tell you the element name, so you got to look at your actual periodic table, and then you would know what name it is. Unfortunately, I don't have a periodic table in front of me, so I can't do that right now. But I'm pretty sure it's neon. But this is the second video in your series. We have one more where we're going to practice writing electron configurations.